Hello everyone, I am Randy Suarez, aka Silva Crow, back here with another amazing reaction. This time we're back with some more Casual's Geographic. I know, it's been a long time since I reacted to his content. I've been asked several times the past months to react to his content, but I've been busy. It also didn't help that I was injured beginning of this year. So, but I digress. But we here to react to some Casual Geographic and basically about dogs. You know. But anyway, the title of the video is Dogs That Will Send You DOG Backwards. Damn. Well, and basically on what I saw on the thumbnail, yeah, there are some big dogs. But I digress. If you like any of this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to Casual Geographic. I will leave the original link to this video down below so you can watch it uninterrupted. Link to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And follow me on those social platforms. Link to my Cashapp. Feel gracious enough to donate whatever you want to donate. It's fine. It's fine as well. So then two things. But by donating, like, comment, subscribe, sharing, all the good stuff, however you show your support, lets me know you rock with the reaction content, rock with the channel, and rock with your boy. But for the buck up and let's get started. All right, we here with some more Casual Geographic. Like I said at the beginning, I know it's been a while, but I'm going back to react to basically majority of his content. If you like the content, well, me reacting to Casual Geographic, I'll keep it coming. Just let me know in the comments down below. But here we go. But we're about to react to the video, Dogs That Will Send You to DOG Backwards. So, and there are some big dogs that definitely will do it. But here we go.
These are the dogs that would take the leash off and...
Hold on. Let me...
Maximum volume.
Alright.
These are the dogs that would take the leash off and walk you.
Damn.
Because a lot of y'all have gotten way too confident. I've said it before, but...
Hey, and I've been reacting to Yo-Yo stuff too on his, not Yo-Yo. Yeah, he been talking big about some of these dogs. Yes, but some of the... Like, bro. Yo-Yo, if you're watching this, brother. There are some dogs that are as tall as you. And even taller. And same amount of strength or even more. Yeah, regular dogs you can take, but big behemoths like Hercules, like from the Sandlot, no. You good luck.
One way to see how a guy's mind works is to ask him, what's the biggest animal you could beat in a fight? And if you want to see how highly he thinks of himself, ask him, what's the biggest dog he could take down? Or if there's even one alive that he couldn't. TikTok has taught me a majority of y'all are KOing anything canine. Allegedly. Now, in their defense, there's over 350 breeds of dogs, and the average man is bodying most of them.
Yeah.
Dogs are built for friendship, some quite literally, and they're descended from a pack hunter who really isn't about the one-on-ones. Plus, dogs have one real way of delivering damage, and unless they have the size to make up for it, most dogs can't go band for band with the average man. The thing about size. Some canines are big enough to take you off the
That's just a walking bear. That's a bear. A bear dog. Jesus Christ. And people have these as pets, like in real life, by the way. And it's like, this is insane. Like,
once dogs hit that 140 to 150 pound range, they go from a loud inconvenience to something whose free will could potentially put you in a dirt motel. Bigger than that, and you got the kind of dog where every breath you take is by his blessing. Real quick, this isn't to demonize any breed or inspire you to test your luck against your dog. And also, don't take this too seriously.
Alright, let's read the text down below. Alright. Disclaimer, finding and licensing rights videos was a bit of a struggle, so some of the videos may not match the breed being discussed. My bad if that's the case. Alright, no problem, bro. Nothing wrong with that.
I know Fantasy Fight Club loves hills to die on, but first we got the Kangal Shepherd is a Turkish Fido flex bred as a livestock guardian dog against jackals, wolves, and bears. Males on average get from 110 to 150 pounds, but ask around. Someone will tell you about their 180 pound attitude adjustment. An important distinction is that these aren't herding dogs. They're guarding dogs. The canine insurance policy pretty much are part of the herd, and any predators that flock around very quickly find out. Kangals will defend the...
Damn. Literally playing enemy spotted. Okay, yeah.
in any situation, and while the Salamander Cerberus prefers intimidation, they'll catch a clean body if it gets there. The catch is, since Kangals are built to defend the defenseless, they're unironically really good with children. But with a temper more trigger-happy than the state of Texas, nothing steps to a member of a Kangal's herd without getting read in an obituary. Apparently, some Kangals have snapped at their owners for getting too close to their own sheep, with Kangals having the strongest bite of any dog at an alleged 743 pounds per square inch. A snap from a helicoptering horsehound hits much different. They're so read in an obituary. Apparently, some Kangals have snapped at their owners for getting too close to their own sheep, with Kangals having the strongest bite of any dog at an alleged 743 pounds per square inch. A snap from a helicopter.
Strongest bite of any dog. Any. That means all. Any dog. Big Fang. Okay.
Horsehound hits much different. They're so protective, they even protect some of the predators they were hired against. In Namibia, ranchers and cheetahs share an area code, and in a world where a dead cow can set your entire family back, many cheetahs become chalk outlines in the name of asset protection. But having Kangals and Anatolians on site, which as far as I understand are Americanized Kangals, the cheetahs get run off by canine conflict resolution before the ranchers have to reach for a permanent solution. The Kangal option actually reduced cheetah trappings and killings by 80%, and in some places they're providing the same deterrent service to wolves. So all in all, they're still a good dog, just not for everyone. And not just because they need space, experience, and most importantly a purpose, they need discipline, because gentle parenting means Turkish Tank rips your arm out of the socket the first time he sees a squirrel. This fluffy boulder would send you back to the mountains they spawned from. Forged in the mountains of Caucasus, the Caucasian Shepherd is also called the Russian bear dog. Even though they're not Russian, and you're liable for a lecture if you call them that in front of the wrong person. They also weren't bred to hunt bears. They're also livestock life insurance. It's just that calorie blocking a bear might just come with a job description. The blow-dry Tasmanian devil comes in two forms.
Blow-dry Tasmania devil is a... First of all, that's a bar. Second, damn.
A longer coated mountain type and a shorter coated steppe version. The mountain brand are the big boys, and usually the ones that can get to over 200 pounds.
Jesus!
And I promise you, you are not choking out a Wolverine on creatine with war experience. The dog, also called the ovcharka, was used in World War II as Soviet Union guards that would gatekeep Soviet gulags. So they might not send you there, but they'll keep you in its custody. So even though they didn't originate in Russia, before the Soviet Union developed an atomic bomb, they mobilized a furry nuke in the form of Fido. Also, a good amount would patrol the Berlin Wall, and after the wall came down and the dogs were adopted out, many of the veterans would suddenly remember their orders whenever near the past tense wall and would robotically walk in obedience to a wall that wasn't there. So yeah, folks messed around and created an absolute unit of a sleeper agent, and it isn't so...
Fucked around and found out. That's that damn, okay.
You have about 200 pounds of dog resisting your will that you realize with the amounts of Caucasus we're cooking. There's...
Damn. I kind of felt bad for the other one, but he did press him, and he's like, but then let's put it this way, the little one learned.
The reason this domesticated bear is used in Russian prisons. Imagine packs of ovcharkas roaming the city of Berlin at the expense of anyone unlucky enough to run into them. Well, you don't need imagination. For one of the dogs next, it's a reality.
Damn.
This is honestly the first place my mind went after hearing about the man versus dog debate. You tell him to sit, he looks at you like this. What is your next move?
Bro. Guys. He's waiting for something to pop off. That's scary. He's waiting for something to pop off. Look into his eyes. Like he's like saying, yeah, try some shit. Literally.
Daikujo decides to climb on your couch where he knows he's not allowed. What is your vehicle of retribution? I pray it's not a rolled up newspaper. He's gonna make you a small section of the next one. Latin is like a linguistic black light that tells the full story of a word, and when you shine it on Cane Corso, canis is dog, and Corso, or cohors, refers to guard, specifically a military guard dog. Corsos, or actually Corsi, are kind of the guard dog, and they're descended from ancient Roman war dogs known as Canis pugnax. For Corsi, the Italian Mastiff would attack enemy lines in battle with buckets of flaming, scalding hot oil strapped to their backs.
The hell? For real? Oh.
In fact, in my culture, cani is the name of a spice you put on dishes, and to me it's all good, but to someone who's never had it before or doesn't know how to handle it, It can be an overseasoned assault on the senses. Same story with the uber black of dogs. Handle them wrong and they're a one-way trip straight to Valhalla. And with many over 120 pounds, I do believe every conscious breath you take is with their consent. Again, they're guard dogs that protect their pack, and within it, they're docile family dogs that you can trust with the kids. But the same dog that can tear a wild boar in half like a phone book would absolutely turn you into coffin fodder in a fight. This might be the most underrated dog out here. First time I saw one, I genuinely thought it was a customized Cane. And while they look similar, at up to and often over 140 pounds, the Presa Canario somehow tankier than the...
Here's the thing. One of my friends, like a long time ago, used to have a dog like this. Surprisingly, the most, to me personally, the friendliest dog I ever, like, encountered. Like, to this day. Like, yeah, normally big dogs like this will, of course, scare anyone. But the thing is, I just looked at him, and he just looked at my face. And just instantly just sat in between me and just... I'm like, aw. And he, again, just adorable dog.
Canine Italian Stallion. Don't get it twisted, the Spanish Mastiff off the Canary Islands is 404ing most men. They just might have been brought over by Spanish conquistadors, and they were admired for their intelligence, toughness, and like a fitted sheet they won't fold. But they were also bred specifically to exterminate wild or stray dogs. And that's something I'm gonna touch on later, because LGDs like Ovchakas, they're not meant to murk predators. Just discourage them. They bred the Presa Canario to erase other dogs. That's basically a canine assassin. The hired gun was also a reoccurring character in dogfighting rings, even after it was criminalized. Because of this, the pride of the Canary Islands almost went extinct in the 60s. Luckily, a breed society, Club Español de Presa Canario, was formed, and they came up with a breed standard.
Hey, say that name again? Club Español de Presa Canario.
Standard was approved in '89, and the Presa Canario was recognized as the official dog of the Canary Islands. The goal was to help the Presa make a comeback, and today they're still going strong. They have a lifespan that can last over a decade, despite all the nerfs that come with being a big dog. Which means we're talking about the dog that has fought its own kind, its own biology, and literal extinction. Not the type I want to start problems with. Now let the record show that the muscle of Canary is the equivalent of a canine wet wipe around family, but any burglar is getting blacklisted from the census. Once upon a time, a zoo in China caught heat for trying to pass off a dog as an African lion. Oh, it didn't last long and they were for sure wrong, but when you squint at a Tibetan Mastiff, you see the inspiration.
Let me get this straight. If you lied saying something that is a line, technically not. But I got a whole nother beast inside. Okay. Alright. Yeah, you dumb idiot.
Trophy mammoth is one of the oldest dog breeds alive, and they were used to protect Buddhist monasteries and Tibetan monks from apex threats like wolves, bears, and snow leopards. Traditionally, the hound of the Himalayas would sleep all day and patrol the villages at night, so if you take in a Tibetan Mastiff, you may find their habits nocturnal. They're built different. I'm talking genetically sequenced abnormally. Back in the day, Tibetan Mastiffs were bred with Tibetan wolves because the dogs have a special protein that helps red blood cells carry oxygen 50% more efficiently. This mutation does not appear in other dogs, but you do see it in the Tibetan subspecies of gray wolf, which is why the sentient hair salon pile can survive such a high altitude. It's not hard to see how a full-grown literal Clifford can send wolves running, and that's what
You know what? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start reacting to more some casual Geographic because I'm actually interested, like for real.
Wanted to mention, these are guardian dogs, not attack dogs. They don't want you dead, necessarily, just gone. They're not out here looking for smoke, and if you have one, you'll find that the most dangerous thing about them is the constant slobbering can be a slip hazard. But there's a catch. The Tibetan Mastiff wasn't just insurance. They were a status symbol, especially in China. One named Big Splash sold for $1.5 million, so they could ruin you physically and financially. The problem is, like all fads, the TM hype faded fast, and the outcome was more abandoned Mastiffs than anyone knew what to do with. Except the dogs. The Tibetan persuasion started forming feral packs where they've killed livestock, hunted native Boerboel sheep, and even attacked ancient enemies like snow leopards, bears, and now even humans. Now we've got thousands of feral uber dogs roaming the Tibetan plateau, making life air-conditioned hell for snow leopards and putting paws and jaws on any people that happen to cross their paths. It's basically what happened to pigeons in America, but I've never seen a pigeon lil bro a wolf. I don't know what's with all the
Jesus, damn. First of all, that's a bar. to little bro a wolf. A wolf! Big dog got it.
Videos of Tibetan Mastiffs and wolves in the same place, but I have not seen one where the dog doesn't completely bully the, albeit smaller, Asian wolves. And speaking of wolves, at least the wild ones are afraid of humans. We genetically engineered a weapon of mass destruction. And it's completely our fault. Mastiffs in general are a canine flex. They'll have you mad stiff. As in rigor mortis, the bull mastiff looks like a sweetheart that could genuinely bench.
Jesus, dude, look a freaking whole ass cholo. Like a unnecessary buff cholo. Like, hey, what's up, cuz? Like, bro, what the fuck? He has tricep on triceps.
Your family. The Neapolitan Mastiff was literally built on honey badger principles. Loose skin so that even when clamped, they can always turn around and face their problems. But it also makes them look like a victimized pizza pie, cheese sliding right off. But we can't forget the English Mastiff, one of the few dogs that could successfully maul a wolf. For reference, the beast from Sandlot was an English Mastiff, and the record for the heaviest dog is held by Ika Mazorba, an English Stiffy weighing 343 pounds.
Damn.
And of course, we can't forget my favorite Mastiff, and honestly dog, the Rottweiler. This Rizzo Hund is an easy attitude adjustment for any man that thinks he can whoop any dog. But one dog you would absolutely get worked by is... The Boerboel is a massive 200-pound vibe check of a pet. They were bred as a South African farm dog to protect the home against threats like leopards and even baboons. Ironically, it's the baboons I'm impressed by. You see, there's a lot of stories about this farmer dog, aura, as the kids say. There's one story of a Boerboel life-depriving 4 leopards in a row before losing to a 5th. Another story goes like this. The king of Albania gifted Alexander the Great a massive Boerboel, but when Alex tried to get the dog to hunt, the dog seemingly refused, so Mr. Macedon did the sensible thing and murked the dog for insolence. Until...
That's a bit of a, what's the word for it? Escalation. Like, what the fuck?
The king said the dog wasn't lazy, just bored, and that these dogs were meant to hunt big game. Like elephant big. So apparently they sent a replacement, and this Boerboel won Alexander over after breaking a lion's back and forcing an elephant off a cliff. Do I believe it? Absolutely not, but it helps my narrative if I pretend I do. What is...
Oh, let's go back a little bit.
Game. Like elephant big. So apparently they sent a replacement, and this Boerboel won Alexander over after breaking a lion's back and forcing an elephant off a cliff. Do I believe it? Absolutely not, but it helps my narrative.
Alright, let's see the text. Especially since Boerboels weren't bred until later. Oh yeah, they kind of like, yeah.
If I pretend I do. What is true is the same Boerboel that squares up with big cats and baboons also has the personality of a weighted blanket. Unless you threaten their family, in which case they'll put you in an ashtray. They're basically a guard dog that got promoted and invited out to hunts, which is actually the opposite of... The Rhodesian Ridgeback might seem like a token pick, but hear me out. They're the inverse of Boerboels. They were so good at hunting, they eventually got promoted to guards. With a max weight of like 120 pounds, the Ridgeback is the lightest dog in this video. They get the nod because they were used to hunt lions, along with the usual suspects like wild pigs and baboons. Now I should probably explain, when I say hunt lions, I don't mean these dogs are out here giving Simba the belt to butt. There isn't a dog alive that can beat a lion. No dog exists that can 1v1 a bear, and pretty much all would get folded by a full-grown, all-American Northwestern wolf. By hunting, really the Rhodesian Ridgebacks would bay the lions, not straight up attack them, but harass them, applying constant pressure until eventually the hunters showed up. The best way I can explain it is...
Oh, so basically gaslight, keep them busy until the hunter showed up. Okay, well, that makes sense.
These wolves mobbing a black bear and basically escorting him away from their pups hidden in the grass. Rhodesians more so keep the lion in one place, which is arguably just as impressive. It takes a lot of intelligence to pin a predator 5 times your size, and yeah, Ridgebacks are creepily smart. Ask around, some will even say they're human. And that's a level of intelligence I'm not trying to deal with. One thing I do love is a dog that went against literal lions is also mad sensitive. They do not respond well to harshness, and you unironically have to watch how you talk to them because they will take it personally. They're basically gifted teenagers. They're not for the discipline, so you better keep it positive. You know, I almost forgot to mention the Dogo Argentino.
Aww.
A mistake that would have been. Basically, a teenager in the 1920s unlocked free will and decided to create the best possible hunter dog. He took traits like the scent tracking of a pointer, the height of a Great Dane, the Tibetan Mastiff's calm temperament, and the boxer's overall athleticism, and crossbred them with the now extinct Cordoba fighting dog. Eventually, he created an Argentinian Mastiff, and to prove its strength, he pitted his dog against a wild boar and a mountain lion, gladiator style. Only the dog made it out. And I wouldn't even believe that if it wasn't for the story of Morocho, the Dogo Argentino, allegedly killing a puma to save his 2 human girls. Allegedly, because I'm not entirely sure it's true. I still can't see one soloing a healthy mountain lion, but the narrative has been set. So W Morocho. They might not be the biggest, but it's an explosive cannonball of a canine athlete that could overwhelm a grown man on the right day. They're tough enough to endure hours of trekking through rough terrain and still have enough juice to wrestle an animal 3 times its size. But if I ever saw this in an alley, my soul would auto-connect to the Wi-Fi and
Shit. Yeah. My soul had already left. I don't even sense the. I was like, I'm done. I'm out.
Now that's real Bluetooth. By now, you probably recognize the pattern. If a dog was bred as a livestock guardian in the mountains, it's likely the last dog you ever want issues with. And that is everything the Central Asian Shepherd dog is. The CAS, or Alibi, is another LGD spawning from Central Asia, and one of the few dogs that could honestly be confused with a polar bear. And while most of the dogs here are a matter of speculation and my personal bias, with the symbol of canine country strength often weighing over 200 pounds, a full-grown specimen motivated by malicious intent would dismantle an...
I always say this in general, no matter what, and now I guess I'm saying this about animals, country strength is a whole nother league.
Bodied man. And as one of the oldest dogs, humans didn't really do that much to breed them. They were honestly bred more by the harsh environment than anything. Just an overall unit of everything a dog can be, and likely the biggest dog most people have never heard of. Again, this isn't to demonize any breed in particular. I just figured the man versus dog thing gave me an excuse to talk about him, and I don't think I ever did make a dog video, so, you know, 2 birds, 1 stone and stuff. And if you're a man who thinks they can solo everything on this list, you got it. Don't take it too serious, although I haven't made an animal versus animal video in a minute. Now there's an idea. Reminder that I have a book rating animals by how likely they are to murk you, and dogs are on there. Their rating might just surprise you, but that's gonna do it. Drink water, hug your mother, always research the breed before you end up with a bear in your backseat. Acknowledge my shirt, please, and I'ma see y'all in the next one.
Cool shirt.
Great!
Wait, how did you get up there, Fluffy One? What the hell? Alright, that's it. That's the... yeah, I definitely need to watch more Casual Geographic. It's been a minute. But let me know your thoughts on this video in general. And will you ever keep these type of dogs as pets? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, me personally, no, because the cleanup is going to be messy. And unless I'm living on a farm or something, then no, I'm good. But anyway, that's the end of the video. If you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to Casual Geographic. I will leave the original link to this video down below, so watch it uninterrupted. Until next time, please take care of yourself. Stay hydrated, stay safe, stay warm. Peace out.
And little questions is everything they know about you.